right, Commanders are coming to town. A lot of hopeful Commanders fans headed into this one.
We're going to win.
And it's going to be a great game, but you guys are going to lose.
Oh, over there. He's putting the pressure on you.
I think we're going to end the night with a win, but they're definitely a good team for the challenge.
They did a good job with this team. Whatever the defense coordinator had them do, they executed very well.
A Green Bay defensive front that imposed his will early and often, rattling a Washington's offense that has struggled to find consistency through their first 2 weeks.
We just didn't make plays. Starts with me, starts with everybody up front, starts with the whole offensive skill group.
A tough loss, no doubt, but it's also a moment to reset and refocus. The Raiders are coming to town next, and this team knows there's no reason to hit the panic button. We'll talk about this and a lot more on this week's Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus.
The man
call somebody,
is back, y'all.
We're back. Call your mama, call your daddy.
We're back and we're back.
We're back.
Tony McGee,
back, y'all.
We're back.
Tony McGee. Come on. Tony McGee, Pro Football Plus. Tony McGee, Pro Football Plus. Tony McGee, Pro Football Plus. Tony McGee.
People don't know the real story of what happened.
It was an unbelievable series of events and an unbelievable time.
Their championship was taken away from them in 1969. We are living in their championship now.
50-some years later, good is coming from it. They are impacting state after state after state after state.
And we're going to show the world how to love.
Crystal City Sports Pub, located in the heart of National Landing, is ranked one of the top 20 sports bars in the country. We are open 365 days a year. Crystal City Sports Pub, with its laid-back atmosphere, is the place to be. We offer 3 levels, over 100 TVs, an 18-foot video wall, pool tables, 3 full bars featuring 11 beers on tap, an extensive menu, and super friendly staff. We offer on- and off-site catering and ample space to host private parties and gatherings. Come experience Crystal City Sports Pub. It is the place to be.
But what did you see overall from this game?
I think defensively for the Packers, they had a great game plan. At times I'm watching them rush with 4 and win with 4, and they got everybody in coverage. And it was similar to what I saw against the Eagles last year, earlier in the season, when they was able to kind of have their way with us. So that's one of the things that we knew that teams would probably try to do. And you only could do that when you're good up front. And when you're good up front like they are, then you can try that. And they had more guys than just Parsons. We was coming to this game, you heard them talking ad nauseum about Parsons this, Parsons that. We knew they had Gary, Van Ness. They had a lot of guys up front that can make a difference. And including Parsons, those guys together, they was like Voltron almost, because they was coming from every different way and shape. But it's football, and that's one of the things that happen, man. You just got to, take your lumps when you get them, and they got to get back to the drawing board. I think also from our side on defense, he's playing a lot of man, and they caught us a lot. They caught us a lot of times bringing guys in motion, getting guys running back and forth. I mean, I don't know if they had it in they script to say, hey, we're going to run Lattimore across the field until he can't run no more, but that's all we saw him doing. They had him receiving in motion, it seemed like, every down. But like I said before, man, you just got to get back to the drawing board, and I'm pretty sure we will.
Hey, Santana, they look like that they were beat in the trenches, too, because looked like Green Bay dominated on both the offensive line and the defensive line.
Yeah, it was. It was trench warfare like most of the time you hear us talk about. I mean, if you can't win there, then it's tough to do anything else. And but I'm okay with seeing a team be able to say, okay, you got us this time, because I feel like we have the guys that's capable of doing some of the same things. So week 1 we was able to win up front, and we did it, and that's the reason why we went out there and played the way we played. In week 2 we wasn't successful, so we're gonna get a chance to get back to the drawing board, like I said before, watch this tape and say, hey, this is who we were in week 1, this is who we were week 2, who you want to be.
Welcome to Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus. Now you're probably saying, is this the first off-season, first real season show, or the last off-season? Well, this is pretty much our first one. Last week was a show that we got in, and we got an opportunity to have the show continuous during the off-season. We want you to write us at Red Mag Plus TVAOL. Tell us what you like about the off-season. Tell us if you'd like for us to do more or do it longer, and tell us if we just stunk. We want to know everything about it. Speaking about stinking, when we come in here first, we got to talk about our team, Commanders. A few days ago, we were talking about they were championship caliber. Then they go against a team called Green Bay. Everyone is saying right now Green Bay is such a tough team. So I have to go in and get people, and the first thing people are worried about, will our quarterback play? So I got Jason Campbell in here. I don't know why he got his cleats on, ladies and gentlemen, but you got a chance to ask him. Maybe he can tell us. So when you have Jason in there, you got to get him a receiver that is a game breaker. What did we do? We pulled him off ice. It was cold on the whole side of town because he was there. He is the guy. Everybody there. Is that Gary Clark? What's happening? Mr. Clark, how are you today?
Just glad to be a part of it.
So when you get your receiver person in, you get a person that thinks they can play basketball, know nothing about it, but they say she's pretty good. But I don't know if she get a lot of interviews. Donna Hopkins, what's up?
What's up, Tony? You know what's up.
What's up, Donna? If you want to jump on it right away, talk some stuff.
Tony, breaking news. And Coach Quinn talked in his presser today about Jaden Daniels. Everybody knew that he got beat up in that game against Green Bay, a knee injury, but is not expected to keep him out, but don't know how it's going to play out this week. Coach Quinn said they'll know Friday if he's able to go. He's doing all the necessary things to get treatment, to hopefully be on the field. But if you know Jaden Daniels, he's going to do everything he possibly can to get on the field, but it's still a question mark. If he can't go, Marcus Mariota will be the one up under the center, Tony. But some other injuries for the Commanders because they got beat up in that game against the Packers. Noah Brown and John Bates, which are key players. John Bates is a great blocking tight end. They've got soft tissue injuries, and then Jonathan Jones, and then, of course, Jaden Daniels, Tony. So it's a lot happening. But, Tony, let's go to the locker room before you bring everybody else on. Let's go to the locker room quickly to just hear what the players said about this game that they lost up in Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean, we just haven't executed at a high level. We've had our spots, we've had moments, but to be the offense and the team that we want to be, we have to consistently put drives together, and we haven't quite done that, whether it's just penalties or just not converting. And we got to figure out a way to fix that as we go on into next week.
We just didn't execute, I feel like, and we just got to be better.
Where do you think you all could have been better tonight?
Everywhere, honestly, on the run, the pass. We just wasn't ourselves tonight.
It's good medicine, especially when you got a good team and you lose to another good team. It, for me, it doesn't waver my confidence at all. It was moments in the game where the game was close. We just needed to play here, play there. The score can say whatever it said or the stats, but if you truly watch the game, we'll play here, play there from it being a whole lot closer. So still confident in this team, confident in all we got.
I definitely give you some extra time, man, just to look in the mirror and, kind of just make the decision of, how we want this season to go. And just fixing little mistakes and just guys just get on the same page so we can be successful.
Hey, Tony, you know what? They know that they have to play much better. And I know that I threw it to the interview, but hey, you got the big fella over there, Tony.
Hey, well, you didn't give me time. See, you want to cut him out because he knows all.
Definitely, I'm not cutting out.
He knows no jump shot ain't worth nothing.
Hey, Tony, from a basketball player to a basketball player, I wouldn't cut out Solomon.
But you know what? That's what I was telling you. You got your wide receiver, you got your quarterback, you got your announcer, but you need your dominator. Somebody to get your back. Somebody's going to knock the ball down. Now, he didn't play football. I think he could have been one of the best tight ends in the world, but I'm talking about my son, Solomon McGee. Welcome, Big Soul.
What's going on, y'all? Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you, Donna had to get her information out quick because it's a bet involved with that information she got out. And then second, Gary and Jason, thank you to the show. I haven't seen my father smile this much in the last 5 minutes. He was so tight at first, but seeing you two on here, I just saw the joy come out of his heart that fast.
Did they bring it out, Big Zoe?
Yeah, because he was real tight.
Wait a minute. We got one more before we get to kicking this around. Speaking of kicking it around, we got a guy who ain't been around for a couple of years. We brought him back a little bit a week or so ago. But this guy been involved with the show for 38, 39 years. He came back. He been over in Europe making movies and everything. Mike, thanks for coming back and working with the little guys and coming back and seeing us. Michael Baker, welcome back, Baker.
Well, thank you, sir. You know, I have to say that there are 3 people on this show that played college basketball, but there were only 2 stars and there was 1 scrub. Guess who the scrub was?
Don't make me call no names.
I was the scrub.
Don't do
Donna
that to
and
yourself.
Solomon were the 2 major league stars. I rode the bench, but I never missed a shot in college. I only took 14 of them, though.
I don't know what the bench. Hey Tony, I don't know what the bench looked like, and Solomon doesn't either.
Well, let's talk about the bench. After looking at that Green Bay game, we all went in high expectations. We all knew that they were going to have a tough game, but I don't think we all knew Green Bay was as good as they were. Now, I know we were taking a look at it. Let's go offensively first. Hopefully, I hope Jason isn't hurt as bad. I hope that none of our players are hurt bad because we need this. And I know I called Jason, but he's not playing this week. But at the same time, you look at, we have been afraid all week that you get a team that can control our lines and they can get to our quarterback and they can stop the run. And Donna, that seems to be what happened in that game. We went in there with high expectations, but Green Bay, I think, is a better team than we all think they are.
Oh, Tony, most definitely. I think everybody took Green Bay a little light. They are solid on defense. They're solid on offense. They dominated on both sides of the ball in the trenches. You know what I'm talking about, Tony. They pushed the Commanders around, and execution was a problem with the Commanders on offense a little bit in the first game, although they won it. But the execution on offense, it was almost like Green Bay was in their skin. Jaden Daniels got sacked 4 times. The offensive line did not hold up. They having some problems on that right side a little bit. The running game only 51 yards. But I was most disappointed. I know we're not talking about the defense yet, but they had total breakdowns on defense. But they just executed on the other end. As Coach Quinn said, you've got to give the Green Bay Packers credit.
Okay, Jason, as you talk about that, we've been all this year, we've been afraid of the quarterback running too much, Jaden running too much. Is there a coincidence within this? Whereas the one game that he did run more than he have in the past, and he get hurt. Is this something we should be concerned about? I know he's fragile. I know he's a great quarterback, but I just don't see him running much because I think it's too much propensity to be hurt that way.
Well, the one thing, anytime you put your quarterback in harm's way by asking him to run a lot, and that's a threat that he brings to this Washington offense, which makes defense have to prepare for. But at the same time, you don't have a lot of a running game. If you had a big running game like Philly does with Barkley and those guys, then your quarterback doesn't have to run as much. The only time you see Hurts run really is like maybe a quarterback scramble here or there or the tush push. Other than that, he's handing the ball off. And then the rest of the time, he's dropped back passing. So you got to find a way to take a lot of pressure off Jaden. Like I say, he's a franchise quarterback. You don't want him running the open space and getting guys an opportunity to take free licks at him over time. You're playing a 17-game schedule and then the playoffs. That's a lot of wear and tear. And what teams have done this offseason, if they studied a lot of his film from last year, and they seen what he does really well when he does tuck the ball down. So now they're trying to cave the pockets in, and guys are trying to create free lane. So I think for Washington, man, you have to go out and maybe make a trade and try to get a running back in after losing Eckler. I know they signed a kid Edmonds out of Tampa, but you got to get a big time running back though. I think to help take pressure off Jaden, which will allow him to do all the other things he does really well. It was his accuracy and moving the ball and still have that threat to run. But having him to run as much as he's running right now, it's a little scary.
Hey, Gary, when I come back, we're going to talk a little bit about, is he running that much because our wide receivers aren't getting open enough? Is he running that much because that's the way he has to make plays? But I'm going to ask you, are the wide receivers doing their job? When we get back, I need an answer from one of the best, and we will be back. You know the message. Take the ticket.
Hi, welcome home. It's Michelle Van Allen from Van Allen Real Estate. I am over 20 years experienced in this real estate game. We all know that right now this market takes an experienced agent to get you what you need. All of you sellers, if you're considering putting your house on the market, please give me a call. I'd be more than happy to sit down and talk to you to find out where you place in this market. Hey, you first-time home buyers, remember, right now is the perfect time. It's a buyer's market to get you into your first dream home. Hey, you investors, this is an amazing time to invest. If you ever thought about it, give me a call. We can talk about it. We can talk about specific properties that are on your radar and mine. Give me a call. I'd be more than happy to welcome you into the Van Allen Real Estate team. I look forward to talking to you soon.
Well, now, as you take a look at it, you know, no matter, we talked about receivers, we talked about running backs, we talked about quarterbacks, but what you have to talk about is the offense and defensive line. As you look at them, and sometimes fans, just look at each player. Look at what they're doing. When you see a player getting knocked off the line, the scrimmage backward, then that's not good. When you see a team running through and untouched the first 5 yards, that's not good. And one thing we have seen, this line is somewhat better, but big fella. They were running through them on a lot of plays, and they will have to be much, much better if they want to be contenders.
I'm telling you right now, look back here. You see this number 78, Tony McGee? If I line him up right now against number 72, Conley Jr., my father would have 2 on him, and then number 67, what's his name, Donna? Andretti. My dad would have 2 on him. I think my dad could walk over 4 sacks right now with the protection them 2 been given. Because
you know, only a fan would feel that.
Dad, I think you can get 72, 2 on him, and at least 2 on 67, because I don't know what's going on with them. And I'm gonna be honest, Conley Jr. made Burns look like a superstar last week when we played against the Giants. So that's why Jaden is running for his life, Pops, because of them 2 numbers I could see right after 2 weeks, 67. And my goodness, 72. I'm so sorry, Dexter Manley. I am so sorry, Mr. Manley, for that on your number right now. I apologize for the way he's been represented.
And you know, Dexter said, "You right." But you know what? And you are right, correct about that. But the thing about it is, we've consistently seen them not playing well, and that's what worries me. And as we look around the league, we found out one thing. We found out with the New York Giants and Philadelphia, you got 2 high-powered offenses. They've come in now. New York got a quarterback. But the other thing we saw is neither one of them can play defense. So we have to look at, Mike, I want to go around a little bit, and we're looking at these linemen we're talking about, and you're looking at our offense overall. What do you see in this offense? Do you see improvement? Do you see them better than most of the offenses? Or is there a lot of work to do on this offense?
Well, just to piggyback a little bit on what Solomon said, and I consider him King Solomon because he says brilliant things.
Thank you, Senor Mike.
Welcome back, Michael.
I mean, you know, Jason Campbell knows everything about working behind an offensive line. But just real quickly, my comment would be, I know Brandon Coleman went out. And the minute that he went out, and Donna, you probably know when he came back in and whether he was just nicked or not, that offensive line played differently. Nick Allegretti on the left side, he wasn't adequate. He really wasn't. But Connerly, the one time they tried to give him some help, and McNichols tried to chip Micah Parsons, it was a joke. It was a joke. And I mean, I thought this guy Connerly had quick feet, but obviously he needs a lot of work. And you had other tackles. You had possible right tackles. And I don't understand why the substitutions weren't made. But getting back to Dietrich Wise, that's the guy they picked up in the offseason. And he really did, from a defensive standpoint, he was a wrecking ball against the Giants. Now he's gone. And Tony, you had a physical therapy business, so quad tear is very serious. So he's gone for the year. Your other side of the pass rush is gone. You have Dorrance Armstrong. You have some other guys who can probably fill in, but you got a problem, Tony. You got no pass rush now.
Well, anyway, the offensive line can't run block and they can't pass rush. We in trouble. So
yes, I'd say so.
Wait a minute. You know what we better do? And that's what they keep telling me. You need some help. You need a therapist. So, I think I better get on the couch and get the doctor that we got here to tell me something about it. Because Dr. Rock, you know who I'm talking about. Jason, come on the couch with me a little bit. I want to ask you a couple of questions. I'm going to put you on the spot now. But I'm going to ask you some tough questions. I'm going to begin with, Jason, do they need to change the kind of game plan that they're doing? Do they need to get more? Because I know as a quarterback, are you happy with the way they're moving the ball or not moving?
I think you got to stretch the field more. We throw the ball to the tight end a lot. Like when Ertz is your leading receiver and, game in and game out, then that means you're targeting so much to the tight end because you're not getting separation down the field, or you're not dialing up plays to get down the field because you don't feel like you got the pass protection that'll get a quarterback at the time to hit those deep over routes and those deep post routes. But you got to find a way to get Terry McLaurin more involved in the offense. Missing that time during training camp, I don't care what anybody says, Gary will tell you it definitely hurts. It hurts your time and it hurts your rhythm. And everything, even though he's been playing for the last couple of years for Washington, it still hurts when he's not there during training camp. But you talk about Deebo Samuels. Deebo Samuels is not the threat down the field anymore. He's still more of a possession, shorter receiver, catch the ball on slants and quick outs and things like that, try to get the ball in his hands on crossing routes. But you got to find a way to stretch the field if you're watching the offense, if you want to open up anything underneath. Or otherwise, people going to stack the box against your run, and they're just going to sit on your short routes.
When you say stretch the field and open up, tell me specifically, are you talking about certain players, like maybe get tight ends more involved? Or are you talking about maybe different routes? Like I remember G-Man, he had that route, and correct me if I'm wrong, G-Man, he'd always go up, turn in, and then they try to catch him, and they hit him in that corner, then he turned back in and he's gone. It's a different routes. You guys, both of you tell me, because this offense is going to be the key to this team, because we know the defense, we got average, good defensive players. We don't have any great ones. This offense is going to have to be the real deal. First of all, you, Jason, would you change what you're doing? And second of all, with you, G, do you use, as he said, the wide receivers even more? Do we have a game-breaking wide receiver left? First with you, Jay.
Yeah, when you think about it, look what Giants did from week 1 to week 2 with Russell Wilson. The next week they started stretching the field. They started taking shots down the field, which started opening up everything underneath. And Dallas Cowboys kind of caught off guard with it because that's something that they didn't do against the Commanders. And now you watch the Commanders this week. Yes, it's a short week. You got to go to Green Bay. You only get 2 days of preparation rather than 5 days to prepare, and that hurts you in a lot of ways because now you got to travel. One of those days is used for travel. So I just think you got to find a way to start hitting these receivers, anything 12 to 15 yards on some dig routes, some deep curls, and then take some post shots or some go routes. But in order to do that, though, you got to find a way to run the ball successfully, which sucks those linebackers up to hit those second-level throws. Right now, Washington's not running the football, so there's no threat. So people are giving them a 2-shell, and they're not even blitzing us a whole lot. They're just beating us with a 4 or 5-man rush because they feel like they can play coverage.
Mm-hmm. So, Gary, what do you see any different? Maybe quick passes, or would you go try to set them up some kind of way? Tell me what you would do.
Well, I mean, Green Bay, I mean, for the most part, they didn't play man, they played zone. And honestly, anytime you play zone, your receivers they're going to get open. So I mean, it's just finding those spots. And you may want to change your route running a little bit to get to that spot because everything's timing, especially if the line's not blocking that well. You have to speed things up. So if I'm going to run, for example, I'm going to run a curl route. Well, I know typically I want to end up on the numbers catching the ball. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight to the numbers catching the ball. Because a lot of times they're playing cover 2 or cover 3, they're playing soft. At the end of the day, that's what they were playing zone because they're rushing. I mean, the offensive line was rushing. I mean, the defensive line was rushing great for Green Bay. They had, I mean, their rush was good, and that way they zoned up on everything. But always holes in zones. The key is just getting to the hole, especially knowing the timing of what my linemen are doing for my quarterbacks. So that's how I ran my routes based on how well our line was blocking. If our lineman was blocking good, I'd take a little longer running my routes because that allowed me to open things up. I could get more yardage out of it. Instead of running a 15 yards square in, I'd run like an 18 to 20 yard square in. If our line was blocking good. If our line was blocking bad, I'm running more like a 12, 13 yard square in. I mean, things were just different in that aspect of things. So for me, it's a matter of like finding my receivers that I know is going to do the things that need to be done to get open. And I got to tell my quarterback that because I know what my quarterback needs. I know what my quarterback wants. And I know what my timing needs to be. And the key is making sure that you take advantage of that. For example, they didn't use Debo. Like, I mean, Debo had his first game was spectacular. His second game, they didn't use him until the end of the game. And when they did use him, finally, he scored. I'm like, so the key is using your personnel. I mean, using your personnel correctly, in my opinion. And I just think they didn't. I don't know if the short work week just messed everything up for them. But at the end of the day, you have to adjust your game to what the defense is doing. It's just really that simple. Like, it's not rocket science.
There you go. We're going to take a quick break.
Rocket science.
Excuse me. When you're talking about rocket science, we got to give the defense now. It may take a rocket science to get them back. We'll be back in a moment.
People don't know the real story of what happened.
It was an unbelievable series of events and an unbelievable time.
Their championship was taken away from them in 1969. We are living in their championship now.
50-some years later, good is coming from it. They are impacting state after state after state after state.
And we're going to show the world how to love.
Well, you know, one thing I want you to always realize, fans, we are referring to a lot of things we saw during the course of games, but we're not saying that these things are detrimental. We're saying that these are things they need to improve. And one thing about it, the defense, we on one thing, they have to improve if they're going to get any better. And guys, Donna, you can tell me, when you interview them, sometimes you get a feel, and the defense know that when we let people down, I mean, offense, that can happen. For the simple reason, you guys are second string athletes anyway.
Hey, Tony,
I gotta laugh at that with myself.
I would not be laughing because the defense gave up 404 yards, 135 yards rushing.
Who told you to keep your stats anyway?
I'm just saying that is what happened, Tony, because they got pushed around up front. The coverage in the secondary was not there. They had enough penalties for 2 games or more. But what disturbed me more so is that the tight end, Tucker Kraft, 6 catches for 100 and some yards, all-time high for him. They could not guard him for their life, Tony, because they went in the same spot over and over. Love, to me, picked the Commanders apart in every way that you possibly, because he hit them in different areas. Hurry up offense. I mean, the running game was successful for them too also. So to me, you know, losing Wise was a big hit too, Tony, but that's one player. But that does not account for the other players that did not play aggressive in the locker room, Tony. They knew that they did not play well. And you would like this, Tony. It was no laughing in the locker room. Those guys were upset about, what happened in that game. And they said that they are a much better team than what they displayed. But you got to give credit to Green Bay again, because their offense just executed. But secondary, like I said, they were passing them, picking them apart, Tony. So again, like I said, it was not a good performance in any way. Former stretch, Tony.
Wait a minute. Did I hear you say there was no laughing in the locker room? It was laughing in the stands the way they were playing.
Well, Tony, in the stands, nobody care about the stands.
Like I see it. And I tell you what, I saw some people just turn down his. It's like a hunt dog. Some of them just wasn't a hunt. Solomon, you saw a couple because we talking about it during the game. You know what? Don't tell me that you got to get, I think in 14 years, somebody ran over me once. You don't have to get run over. I mean, and then you don't have an angle. You running at the sidelines to get a running back, and you running behind him when you're supposed to
get him, Pop. Get him, Pop.
Come on, man. Come on, Solomon. What did you see?
Look, I already know who he's referring to, but Louisville, Louisville and Wagner's tackles kind of been sus lately, but we got a famous guy around here named Huggy Lowdown. He got Bama of the Week. We're going to start having Bama of the game. Number 3, Will Harris, you got Bama of the game. The way you look, that guy truck you down the sideline like that, my guy. Come on, my goodness. It was like Dad said, all you had to do was it was like you threw yourself in front like, don't hit me. I mean, come on now, Will Harris. But that's who Dad's referring to. So, Will Harris, Bama of the game for me as far as with the way you got trucked on that one play.
G, I need to ask you this, and it's real important. Our defensive backs, the first game, it looked like as if they finally got it. This game, it looked as if they went backwards. As a wide receiver, if you were coming to play us, what would be on your mind that was a sure enough TD or a big play?
But first of all, I'd be knowing I'm going to go to the Pro Bowl if I play that unit all the time.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, that was a little bit of disappointment because what I was happy about in the first game, like when the defense had to stop them, after that penalty and after had an interception and they got a penalty and they got really into the red area, and typically they would give up a touchdown then, and they gave it away. The first game they stopped it. That had me thinking, okay, these guys are coming to play. And for whatever reason, last game against the Packers, it looked like a completely different secondary. Like when they needed something, they got it. And that can't happen. I mean, the defense played good until they didn't play good. I mean, they was fortunate that, in the first half, Green Bay didn't score more points. So that we were still in the game, so if you probably turn around and look at all the stats for the game, the stats probably look similar. Like you can't give up 400 yards on defense and expect to win the football game.
True that. And that's a bad. You can't do that.
Especially to come back.
Right. And I'm what? And Gary, you and I and Donna, we all been on this show. Even saw him when he was a little boy. The one thing we said, if the defense holding the 17 and the offense get more than 17, you can win every game. That just didn't happen. Now I'm asking you, Jason, if you were the starting quarterback with a team that they say is going to be prominent, and a team that one game they look good, one game they look bad. If you were going to play this team next week, you're the next opponent. What would be your idea of a good game plan to beat these defensive backs? We only got a minute or so, but I know I threw a question out there. But just give me a quick scenario on how you would attack them.
Well, you saw what Green Bay did, right? Green Bay, they
No, I'm talking about our defensive backs.
Oh, our defensive backs?
Yeah, and how would you attack our defensive backs if you were the next opponent?
Yeah, if I was the next opponent, I'd just go right into the Green Bay book. What you just put on film, right? So until you show me you can stop it, I dial up some of the same things. It's just, it was a different animal. Like, playing Russell Wilson, playing against Jordan Love is two different style quarterbacks because the threat of Jordan Love being able to run as well. So then you got to have a spy for him, so which takes one of your linebackers out of coverage per se. But I would just say from a coverage standpoint, it's almost to me, it was a lot of miscommunication because you saw a lot of guys running open, not like 2-3 yards open, but I'm talking about 5, 6, 7 yards wide open in their deep zone. So either people are not dropping to their zones or they getting lost in their zones and not turning around looking up where they're supposed to be at. So until they stop it, I'll do the same thing Green Bay just did this week. If you're the Raiders coming in, you're going to try to take those shots, and they have a good tight end as well. So you got to learn how to defend the tight end if you're linebackers, but you got to, as a secondary, your safeties and corners got to be on the same page on these deep over routes in the seam ball. There's no reason guys should be running open on seam throws in the NFL.
Facts.
And no question. Well, you know what? You guys heard it from a top-class quarterback in the NFL, and we know you want to know what other teams around there are thinking like that. So what do? We bring in Mike Baker. NFL News. He'll tell us what's happening around the league. Now, I don't know about his ability to tell us what quarterbacks to do, but he'll tell us who's hurt. Mike, bring that NFL News on there.
Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow is likely to miss 3 months with a grade 3 turf toe injury that will require surgery. Now, quarterback Jake Browning, one of the best backups in the NFL, took over on Sunday, leading the Bengals to a 2-0 start. But one thing to watch, Browning's interception percentage of 3.6% of his throws is high by NFL standards. Burrow could be back in time for the playoffs, though. Hopefully. The Cowboys are signing 3-time Pro Bowl pass rusher Jadeveon Clowney. The Cowboys don't expect significant sack numbers from Clowney, as one official said. They simply need him to secure the edge. Steelers linebacker Alex Highsmith suffered a high ankle sprain. He could be out 4 to 6 weeks. Jets quarterback Justin Fields left the game Sunday with a concussion. He will be day-to-day, but is expected to miss at least 1 game. Cleveland wide receiver DeAndre Carter has a concussion and may miss a game or 2. Bears linebacker TJ Edwards left the game Sunday with a hamstring injury. The Bears are 0-2. Oh my. Is it time for Tyson Bagent? Place kickers who are drafted are less likely to succeed in the NFL than undrafted kickers, according to an article in The Athletic. Perhaps the most interesting aspect of this position is that kickers who have been in the league a while have less joint flexibility and are able to lock onto kicks better than young kickers with exceedingly flexible joints. A lesson from all this? Dan, do not panic and cut place kicker Matt Gay. As I recall, Gay is 16th among active place kickers with an 85.5 percentage on field goals. That ain't bad. The 49ers have lost quarterback Brock Purdy to toe and shoulder injuries. Purdy will be out 2 to 5 weeks. Mac Jones filled in quite well for Purdy on Sunday. And what is it about the Jones boys, Mac Jones and Daniel Jones? You have to root for these quarterbacks. The chant these days in New York is, "Let Russ cook, let Russ cook," after going 30 for 41 and 450 yards and 3 touchdowns Sunday. And he still has the deep ball. Let Russ cook. All right, finally, I think the shocker of the week is the Steelers' loss to the Seahawks. Rodgers downplayed it. The 4-touchdown Week 1 quarterback says the Steelers are going to be just fine. Rodgers was harassed throughout the game, Aaron, and sacked 3 times. The Seahawks' 23 unanswered points is not a Steeler defense. Hello, Aaron.
The one-of-a-kind joy of Kellogg's cereal and ice-cold milk.
Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus Speakers Bureau offers you various opportunities to connect with former and current players along with Tony and the crew. For more information, go to redmagplus.com Speakers Bureau.
Well, you know, when I told you when we go out, we go around, Mike told you a little bit about the news, but that's not the only competition going on in this show. Right now, we have a few of our fans out there. We call it the Sports Sunday Night and Monday Night Challenge. And I tell you what, it's firing up. We got some people down in Dallas that they know they're going to win that as well as the game. We got some people in Ohio that think it only rains in Ohio and nowhere else. But what we're going to talk about a little bit down is people that we've got involved. It's kind of competitive. If you do something with them every week and you say these people are really competitive in doing this.
It is. I told someone that the sports challenge was coming up and the guys from last year, they were gun-ho. I asked one of the people to pick for Billy, and she
Billy
said,
Baines, that's my man.
No way am I picking for Billy. She said, you call him up because he's got to pick his own picks. So, Tony, this is the sports challenge. They picked the Sunday night and the Monday night game. And the great thing is we have 2 games on Monday night. So it's going to start off hot. Back with us again is Crystal City Pub. You all have been down there. And Gary, Billy Baines said that he saw you out at the Gaylord. I was like, okay, you and Gary rubbing arms and everything. And Tony and I wasn't invited.
Well, that's where the rich people go down, and we're not supposed to be there.
Hey, Tony, I told them that we got to get down there to eat their great food at the Crystal City Pub. They're picking on Sunday night, the Vikings, Monday, the Bucks, and the Raiders. And the Glory Days, Tony, is back also. Talk a little bit about the Glory Days, Tony,
you talk about
what
Glory
they
Days,
bring.
Well, you be talking about chicken. See, I have to, chicken wings is my weakness. I love them. And I tell you, they got some of everything. You know what? The one thing about it is the individuals we have involved, we got people with food, without food. We got people that want to just have their business involved, but they are people that want to challenge each other. And for all of you, we're not finished. We're giving these first few weeks so you can see what we're talking about. We're going to end up with about a 17-week season, and that's going to be for all the money. And I tell you what, if any of you are interested in being involved, go to my website, redmagplustv@aol.com, and just let me know, and one of the staff will get back with you on that. But at the same time, don't be scared. We can't be scared.
You can't, Tony, and Solomon will appreciate this, Tony, because we got an officiating association in the challenge this year. They cover basketball, they cover baseball, youth. They do a lot of things with the military bases. I was their scorekeeper for a long time. And so, Tony, they're with us this time because they know how to pick, Tony. They know how the game roll, the old round ball, as Solomon knows, plus the football, baseball, and all of that. They do it all. But let me jump back to the Glory Days and tell you who they're picking on Sunday night, because Tony was talking about food that he made me forget about picks. So Sunday night, the Glory Days are picking the Vikings. On Monday, the Bucks and the Chargers. And then GPOA Association, Greater Association, Washington, D.C., they're picking the Falcons on Sunday night, the only one that's going with the Falcons. Monday night, the Bucks and the Chargers. And then we got Crystal City Pub is back, Tony, with the great food. They've been with us for a long time over these 41 years, Tony. They come back to an all-pro setup because they want to win the picks.
All right. Well, I tell you what, everyone want to win. There's still room for you to be in there. We just announced these this week. We'll be announcing more next week. Give me a call. What we're going to do.
Hey, Tony, we're not finished yet. Wait a minute. Crystal City Pub on Sunday night is picking the Vikings. Monday night, they're picking the Bucks and the Chargers. And new to us this year, Tony, is a real estate. Van Allen Real Estate is getting. So if you're looking for a house, if you're looking to sell your house, if you're looking to get real estate out there, Van Allen Real Estate is your people to call, Tony. And this week on Sunday night, they're picking the Vikings. Monday night, the Bucks and the Chargers. So these are our 5 to get started. But guess what? You can also jump into our Sunday and Monday night sports challenge.
Don't be scared. You see, we got everything there. Real estate, we got food, we got cars, we got everything. And we got Jerry. Well, I don't want to say the last name. We'll talk about it later. But when we come back, I got something for you. We're going to take a little break from football. We're going to talk a little bit about what we've talked about. Some organization is trying to help. We're talking about the Black 14. I want to talk about this young man. I want you to hear a little bit about him because this young man here When I first met him, he was my second roommate there. And when I at University of Wyoming, and he always so dedicated to everything. And when he got put off the team, as I told you before, something happened bad in his life. Take a look at this, and I tell you what, let me go and get my tissue now because Tito ain't around. I'll be back in a minute.
When you're in college, you have a lot of roommates. And, you know, I'm talking to my last roommate at the University of Wyoming. He was a great roommate, a very quiet guy, one of the fast and craftiest running backs I've seen. Number 23.
24.
Was it 24?
24.
Well, let's see, he wasn't a good roommate then. So, I didn't even know his number. Number 24, because Joe Williams was 23.
Right.
But you know what? He was fighting for a job. He came in. He was behind the 8 ball, but he hung in there and he stayed there. But the one thing I remember, he was so quiet. Ted Williams, number 24, my roomie.
Yeah.
And you know, I start off with, Ted, I start off with the Buck talking about the girl that he told me she needed to dress right. And you had to endure me slipping her in the dorm almost every night. You never said a word.
Nope.
You know, and you always have been a great roommate, and I lost contact with you. And I'm so glad that they did this because, you know, they brought another person back into my life that I had lost contact with that was such a big part of my life. You were coming there. You had finally started getting playing time. They saw what you was doing. You was just like Tony Gibson. You knew running backs in it. You guys had really just got into the flow. Our team was doing well. Then this happened. Tell me your feelings.
Well, I went with you guys because the way you guys were treated the 2 years before I got there, I figure if that happened to you guys, it's going to happen to me too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why I went with you guys to find out how to protect you guys plus me coming in. What can we do to protect each other? And before we could say anything, all our dreams were gone. And really, into my mind, I'm thinking about how you picked on right away. And that really upset me, you know, just, why you? You know, because you're the great defense in the end, you know, I don't know.
I appreciate that.
I figure I'd be next in line.
Mm-hmm.
Then, you know, you feel empty, you don't know what you're gonna do with your life after that. It's just nothing to do.
Did you feel like you made a wrong decision by choosing Wyoming as your college? Or did you feel like this is the way you was led to come?
I figure your life pattern's already laid out for you. It's the reason why you do things in life. So I figured that was my way of helping my family out. The year before I went there, they had got a tight end from Ventura College. So that, you know, that's not the reason I went there. And it seemed like it was okay. Everything's okay, you know. I went there. You guys treated me good. Then we started playing football, and then it was over with.
When it happened and it was over, did you ever go back and play? They tried to get you to come back as well.
They came back. I wanted to come back, but you know, none of the white players would talk to me. And back in my mindset, if I came out and played, there were going to be a lot of lookout blocks. I was scared about that. And I called my mom. At the time, this affected my family because I tried not to cry.
That's all right, man.
My dad just started drinking heavy, and he had a stroke. So I blame eating for taking my dad. Sorry.
The one-of-a-kind joy of Kellogg's cereal and ice-cold milk.
Welcome back. I tell you, there was a story, and it just when you think about that a situation can change a person's life, whereas it end up costing them their lives. And now we have a situation whereas those two organizations are working together to save lives. That's what we want you to know. When you see the Black 14 on my show, it's not no one and another. It's just a group of people trying to help a group of people. We've helped everyone. We've been on reservation. As I said, we've given away 1.5 million tons of food. And we did that with the help of the Latter-day Saints. We got a lot of stories we had during the course of the year, and they will be positive. But talking about positive, our picks better be positive, because I tell you what, Sports by Challenge, they don't be messing up, Donna. We better get our picks in. And now, I know you the pencil whoop me. Yeah, dude. I know I was
pencil whip you in the first week, Tony. But guess what, Tony? You went 3-2. I went 3-2. Gary, of course, he's back where he belonged at the bottom, 2-3. Mike 3-2. But Solomon, new to the action.
Hey, fella, what's up, man?
Boy, he got 4-1. But you can see on the screen who everybody is going for this week. Vikings big game this week. Texans, Eagles, Chargers, and the 49ers. And the Jags are in there, Tony. So there's our picks in the first week, Tony.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's very interesting. Now, before we close out the show, I think some of you had some questions, and we're looking at how we're going to do certain things. Someone have a question, Big Solomon, how are we going to stop the running game?
Well, I'm kind of scared of like what Mike said. I feel like we're going to have to, first of all, tackle better, but I'm really scared of this tight end pop that we playing this week, this Brock Byers kid. Especially with the way our linebackers have been performing. We have to show up or bring our safety down. We got to probably put a safety in the box or something, I'm thinking.
Is he a good blocker too?
He could that. He's a total package. He can block, catch. And I think if they shovel him the ball, he could run it.
Okay, then, Gary, what do our quarterback need to do the backup, Jay?
I mean,
If
I'll let the quarterback speak on that.
That's what I said, Jay.
What was your question? Are you talking about Mariota this week?
Yeah. What does he need to do to win a game? Just manage the game, try to make plays?
Well, Marcus Mariota, like I said, the thing about him is he's a runner as well. So you don't have to change your offense up too much. He's a veteran guy. He has experience. You pretty much have to go out there and just don't turn the ball over to give your team an opportunity to keep the game close enough to win it at the end, but don't try to force things because you haven't had the opportunity to play and build time with your guys. So for Marcus Mariota, he can utilize his legs well. That's what he does really well, is getting outside the pocket and throwing the ball on the run. So, you kind of want to, as you're the offense, Kingsbury, then you want to utilize the RPO game a lot with him, keeping the ball backside to keep those backside ends from rushing, and keeps Matt Crosby at home where he's not just being relentless.
Wide receiver, G, tell me what they do.
I think
we need this week. We need big plays, short plays.
You do. I mean, you need to turn small plays into big plays and make the big plays when they come. You have opportunity to make the big plays. Quite honestly, I think the quarterback will be fine. I mean, we'd love to have Jaden, of course, but if Jaden's not able to play, Mariota, he'll do it. He always does a good job. He always fills in and does a good job. Think about it. Anytime he comes in, typically they play well. They just do. I mean, he does a good job. He's the type of backup you want to have as a backup because he comes in and he plays like a starter.
Go offensive line quickly.
Actually, Pops, I want to throw it back to you. Pops, you being that you played against the Raiders in Super Bowl 1983, what would you do, Pops?
I'll tell you what I would do, and if they were the same type team, I would buckle up and I would serve them a little bit of my fist the first 2 or 3 plays. To let them know I'm bringing it every time. I may hit them in their side. I'm going to do what I want them to think. But if they beat me, Solomon, I'm going to get up and ask them, how's your family? Let's go. Let's go to you, Mike. What would you do? I'm going to end up with you, Donna.
Well, the relationship between Pete Carroll and Geno Smith goes a long way. They go back a long way. They've got a great connection. And I think that tandem is really, it's controllable, but I think this is a good team. I mean, do you know the Seahawks just really bullied Pittsburgh? They bullied Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they knocked him one side and the other. And so I don't know. I think I sort of agree with Jason, and I've got a bet with Donna, and hopefully she won't pick a 5-star restaurant. I don't think Jade's going to play this week. I think it's going to be Mariota, and I think he can stand up to that beating, because it's going to be a beating, Tony.
All right, Donna, you can clean it up for me. Now, Mike said he wanted his money.
Hey,
Don't be jacking around. We'll mess around and have something on your car wheel next week.
Hey, all I know is that Mike wasn't reporting the truth about who's going to play because it's not decided yet, and hopefully it's Jayden. If he can't go, as everybody said, Mariota can get in there. The thing too, Tony, I think what Coach Quinn said in his presser on Monday was that this team knows their system better than anybody. They just have to go out and execute it. They've got to be able to run the ball. They got to be able to pass the ball. They have to have a balanced game, something that they didn't have in the Green Bay game. And as he talked about the wide receivers, you asked Gary about the wide receivers early. He said that you have to be able to get loose when you're hit and still be able to catch the ball. So hopefully this Commanders will have more of a balance. And remember, the Raiders are playing on Monday night, so they'll have a short week to get ready for the Commanders. But I think what I saw in that locker room after the Green Bay game, that you're going to see a much different team with the Commanders on all fronts than what you saw in that game against Green Bay on Thursday night.
So fans, when you sum all this up and we're getting ready to close the show, we say they gotta be consistent, gotta be tough, gotta go for the win. And they're sort of like us. We never say goodbye. We say in the minute.